Hey, today's coding challenge is one that I found on HackerRank. It's dealing with pangrams. So a pangram is a sentence that contains every letter of the English alphabet at least once, whether it's uppercase or lowercase. So the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Every letter of the alphabet's in there at least once, A through Z. So that is a pangram. And so our job is to write a function that will take in a sentence or a string, and it'll say if it's a pangram or not. So if we find every letter of the English alphabet in there, then we'll say that it is a pangram, otherwise we'll say it's not. So first thing I want to do is talk about how I'm going to approach this. So there might be a lot of ways you could go about this. The way that seems simplest to me is I'm going to have the alphabet, A through Z. I'm going to have a string that is the alphabet. And then I'm going to go through that string letter by letter, starting with A and working my way up to Z, and say, okay, can we find A in the input anywhere? If not, then it's not a pangram. Okay. If so, then we move on to B and say, can we find B in the input? If not, it's not a pangram. If so, we move on to C, and so forth. If we get all the way through the alphabet and we have found every single letter inside the sentence, then it is a pangram, and we'll say so at the end. So the first thing I'm going to do is create the alphabet here. Okay, so this represents the alphabet. We're going to go through that letter by letter to see if we can find each letter in the input. And the input might contain uppercase letters or lowercase letters. And so rather than doubling the length of this by including all the uppercase letters as well, I'm actually just going to do, let's see. I'm just going to turn everything into lowercase in the input so that we can check lowercase against lowercase. So then the next thing we want to do is we're going to go through the alphabet one by one. And we're going to check each letter to see if it exists in the input. So if input.index of, if I can type here, there we go, alphabet.character at I, if it doesn't exist, it's going to give us a -1. And that's how we'll know that it's not a pangram. Oh, let's see, this one wants us to console.log it. Now so this is going to go through letter by letter, and if at any point in time it finds one that doesn't exist in the, or any letter of the alphabet that doesn't exist in the input, it'll say not a pangram, and it'll return, so that ends the function. Now, if we get through this entire for loop without hitting one of these cases, without returning and ending the function, then we'll know that it is a pangram. So we'll do that. Let's give it a shot. Okay, we passed the test cases. And there we go. I hope you liked the video and the explanations. If you have any questions or comments or ways to improve this, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Go ahead and like or subscribe on my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next one.